The fourth type of asexual reproduction we're going to discuss is called vegetative reproduction. Vegetative reproduction is asexual reproduction from a part of the plant not normally used for reproduction. That is, reproduction from parts of the plant other than the flowers. Examples of this include plants with runners. Runners are above ground stems that can strike roots. Examples include the spider plant and the strawberries. We also have plants with rhizomes. Rhizomes are long horizontal underground stems, of which the most common example are grasses. Take a look at this picture of a grass, and you can see its long horizontal underground stem that goes from one plant to the other. This picture shows the rhizome developing from this plant. And here's a great picture of a plant that's popped up through asphalt. And that, of course, would happen from an underground stem underneath the asphalt and then popping up through the asphalt itself. We also have plants with bulbs. Bulbs are simply modified stems and leaves. And great examples include the tulips and daffodils. We also have plants with what are called corms. And corms are thickened stem bases. And a great example of a plant that uses corms are these gladiolus. And lastly, we have plants that use tubers. Tubers are thickened stems with multiple leaf stem buds, as in these potatoes that are pictured. And how you plant a potato is by cutting the potato apart and making sure one of these eyes, as it's called, are included, and you'll get an entire plant that grows from this piece of the potato. Humans have also invented various ways of artificial asexual reproduction, and most commonly artificial vegetative propagation, though it's also extended now into some animal species as well that we'll take a look at in a minute. We'll start off with grafting. Grafting is artificial, and it's splicing a stem onto a rootstock of a different plant. This is commonly how grapes, roses, and fruit trees are produced. And here you can see a picture of a graft taking place on this rootstock of this tree, a graft on the stem of this plant. This hibiscus plant with different colored flowers was created due to grafting. And check out this odd tree that also shows the remarkable outcome of a grafting experiment. We also have what are called cuttings. Cuttings are simply taking a piece of the plant and putting it in water. And some plants are able to do this where they just start growing roots from being placed in the water, as pictured here. Layering is another type of artificial vegetative propagation. But the one that's most interesting nowadays is cloning. Artificial cloning has been done with plants for decades. But it can also now be done with some animals. In most recent history, Dolly the sheep and her clone. But this can also be done with dogs. And it is thought that artificial cloning might be used to bring back some extinct species, like the woolly mammoth, or how about this dodo bird? Next, let's take a look at a video showing artificial vegetative propagation.